Hi, I'm Lorraine. Welcome to the District Yoga. Today in our restorative practice, you're going to need one blanket and one bolster. If you don't have any blankets at home, large bath towels will work perfectly for this. We're going to go ahead and have the blanket folded probably in this rectangular shape. If you would like it thicker when we use it, you can absolutely fold it into half of that. You'll know when we get there. So just have it close by. Or actually, if you'd like, you could actually start by sitting on the edge of it. We're going to come into our first shape using the bolster. Our first shape's going to be kind of like a seated straddle, but our feet aren't going to be super wide. So my feet are a little bit wider than my hips. And we're going to bring the bolster right in between our legs. And I'm going to go ahead and just rest my forehead onto the bolster. You might think that it's going to fall, but I assure you, just find a nice place for the edge and then rest your forehead onto that bolster. You can either keep the hands there, but I like to find a little relaxation through the arms. So I'm going to bring mine to my shins. So just find yourself there, allowing that forehead to melt into the bolster. Allowing the arms to dangle free. And ultimately just allowing yourself to breathe steady. In our restorative practice, there's really no sense of shifting the breath, but just maybe some gentle awareness around it. Maybe as you come into this practice, just notice where you are. Softness in the eyes, maybe even the eyes closing down. And see if you can today use this shape to just let all the thoughts melt away. As if this bolster was there to catch or take away any thoughts, any to-do lists, and ultimately just allow you to be here. This sense of slowing down our bodies. And ultimately the sense of moving away from that sympathetic nervous system or the fight or flight responses over to our parasympathetic nervous system where we ultimately rest and digest. In this restorative practice, really just being a guide, a restful practice, but one that ultimately allows us to prepare for deep rest or sleep. Maybe already noticing a shift. No expectations. Not even any judgments of this style of practice. I know that often some of us come to this type of class and feel like we need to be doing more, when in fact, this practice is meant to do very little in terms of stretch or flexibility or even strength. And although we touch into elements of that in various shapes, there's never this demand. There's ultimately this gentleness or this softness about this practice. That again allows us to return to that rest and digest part of our nervous system. Taking your last few breaths here. Take an inhale. Deep exhale. Slowly place the hands on the bolster, allowing that forehead to come up and off of it. Scoot the bolster off to one side, and then scoot from the blanket, leaving again the blanket off to one side as well. We're going to come onto our backs just for a couple moments, planting the feet as wide as your mat. Let's just let the knees knock in towards each other. Coming into what we call constructive rest. Take a couple moments. Again, maybe just becoming aware of the shift. Noticing the softness of the breath. Maybe even the delicate nature of our complex systems. Take one more breath in. Big breath out. Gently blink the eyes open. Scoot the heels in. Knees towards the sky. We're going to come onto our left side. So scoot the hips off to the right. Press your way onto your side body, but gently press up so that you can grab that blanket. I am going to fold mine in half, and I'm going to put that edge just there. So my tops of my shoulders are going to rest and fall off of the blanket. So find yourself there. So just gently falling off, as if your arms could open wide as well. If you have the bolster nearby, again, scooting the hips to the right, the knees off to the left. We're going to use the bolster in between the legs. And then I'm going to give you options here. So we're going to find a twist. So come on to your left side if not already. The left arm can stay out reaching here. If you feel like your head is too much angled, you can go ahead and release any additional folds that you did. I'm okay with my head here, but if you feel like you want additional padding, if you had an extra towel or a blanket at home, that would be nice as well. Otherwise, we're going to find our way to our twist. You could stay here theoretically if this feels good for you. Otherwise, we're going to take our right hand, tracing our collarbones from our shoulder joint there, and then just opening the chest towards the sky and allowing the arms to open up to this nice T shape. Again, finding a nice place for the head to rest. No angle too sharp in that neck. Allowing the arms to open wide so you feel this sense of an elevated twist as the right shoulder dips down towards the blanket. And the legs just supported by your prop, by that bolster in between. Finding a gentle gaze or even the eyes closed. eyelids soft. And just easing your body into this twist. Again, not aiming for a big sensation, although there might be a slight sensation in the spine. More in the waist area as well. Just breathing here. Just a nice couple minutes to allow the body to just slow down, to just make its way towards a nice restful, quiet place. See if you can let any tension that you might still be holding on to just gently start to dissipate. You might notice that the right shoulder getting a little bit heavier, and all just because of gravity. Allowing gravity to do its work. As if to signal a change is about to come. Take a huge breath in. Big breath out. Taking that right hand, bringing it back towards the left side. Taking a couple moments. We're going to make our way to the opposite side. So that could mean for you just allowing that bolster to be released and switched over to the right. Switching the hips off to the left. I'm going to switch directions just so I continue to face you. Preparing yourself as you come onto that right hip. Draping the shoulders just off the mat, just off and onto the mat. Right arm extended long. Bring that bolster in between the legs. And then again, left hand's gonna trace that shoulder all the way through the collarbones so that you end up in this twist at the chest and heart shine up towards the sky. Arms out wide into a nice T, or maybe even cactus arms if that felt right. Again, any additional props that you might need, and extra blankets underneath the head, use those. And then just find your way. into this nice elevated twist on the opposite side. Again, maybe some awareness around the shifting of our nervous system. Maybe even the shifting of our thoughts. Allowing that left shoulder to just draw down, to just melt in. And allowing the body to just be as it is right now, today. Maybe noticing if you're clenching through the hips. Even with that bolster between the legs, sometimes we tend to grip. See if you can let that just release out. Maybe even relaxing through the jaw. And just softening in. Again, allowing gravity to just do the work. As you find this nice gentle twist. Taking one more deep inhale. Stay there as you let that release. Slowly rolling back onto your right side. Gently staying here, letting the head be cupped by that bicep. And then when you're ready, we're just gently gonna remove the bolster from the legs. Plant that left hand down and just make your way, lifting the upper body up. We're going to come to our last shape of the class. We're going to use this blanket, opening it up and creating a nice neck roll so that our neck can rest between there. And then we'll take the bolster and place it just underneath our knees so that we find our way onto our mat, allowing and adjusting that neck roll to come underneath the neck, allowing the legs and the knees to splay as they naturally do. The arms can fall down by the side body, or maybe one hand on the heart, one hand on the belly. Just allow yourself to be here, still gently present, gently aware, as we come into our final resting position, savasana. Allowing the neck to just melt in to that blanket. Ultimately ensuring that there's no space between our mat, the blanket, and the neck. And that we use our props to just fill that space. Allowing ourselves to just come into complete and total rest. You might start to drift. But if you can, still staying present. Again, aware of your body. Aware of the gentle breathing. Maybe even keenly aware of the shifts. The shift from where you started today. Just gently melt in. Gently starting to wiggle the toes. Gently starting to wiggle the hands, the fingers. Maybe extending the legs long. Go ahead and reach the arms up and overhead. Find a nice stretch. Scooting the hips off to one side. Making your way into a nice fetal position. No rush. Press that hand into the mat. And just make your way up. Moving any props out of the way. We will say that is the official end. Namaste.